When it comes to YouTube, one thing a lot of people like to do sometimes with their channels or backup channels or secondary channels is they like to upload clips from scenes from shows or movies that some people may remember, some people may not remember, some people may take stock in, some people may not. But at the end of the day, there's always that moment where all of a sudden that scene just starts picking up steam, if you know what I mean. And the scene I'm talking about that is that people are basically looking at recently, commenting on, and basically is picking up steam, is the original uploading of the scene from Double O Chipmunk. Now, I titled the video originally that basically it was that famous, sexy Gadget scene that we all know and love from Double O Chipmunk or something like that. Now, of course, I've up-converted it, and re-uploaded it through up-conversion, courtesy of places like online-convert.com in either 1080p, 4K, or 8K. Heck, I even have a version of it on the channel that I converted it to 360. That's right, 360, if you will. Not 4K, not 8K, but basically 360 rotation. And, 360 degree rotation. And basically, it still gets the same reaction, but this original one, it is basically outside of the shadow AMV that went over 1 million several months ago. This is kind of close to it, along with another video, AMV or fan vid that I did on Rescue Rangers called One Dream. But, the question I think anybody has is, why is this scene all of a sudden getting so much attention? Why are people commenting on it, very positively, kind of acknowledging that maybe this is where people became fans of the furry fandom, became furries themselves, people got attracted to Gadget, Why? Why is this scene such a big deal? Not just now, not just recently, but over time, because this thing's been up for about, I think, 13 years, this original clip. And the reason I think it's such a big deal in the eyes of a lot of folks that comment on it and, comment on it, positively and, have fun with it. I think the reason it's such a big deal is because, as I've said before, Double O Chipmunk is an episode full of first when it comes to Rescue Rangers. And Gadget dressing up the way she did is a major, major first, because up to that point, we were always so used to seeing her in just her overalls and goggles. We weren't used to seeing her in anything else outside of maybe her wearing pajamas, which were the same pajamas we've seen her wear before, or she would be wearing maybe a yellow or white t-shirt that cut off at, kind of cut off at the belly button, and pink shorts or yellow shorts. And that's it. Those are the only other alternatives or alternate clothing, I should say, outside of the overalls we've seen Gadget in. Unless she was put into a disguise by maybe a villain, like, say, in the episode of Case of Stage Blight. But yeah, that is why, when you see people comment on this, whether it's through little screenshots people will upload on the places like DeviantArt or wherever. This is why, in my opinion, people are so, enamored with it, because of the fact that it's a first. It is a first-time deal. I mean, because again, like I said, up to that point, we're always used to her just being mostly in her overalls, or on occasions having that alternate outfit of, the yellow, yellow T-shirt that cut off at the belly button and yellow shorts, or the white one with pink shorts, or her pajamas. We were only used to that, ever. We weren't used to anything else, outside of the overalls. So you see her in this, it's a sudden. It's not only a sudden change, but it's a change that, is going to get you talking for a long time. And in today's world and society, especially in the past decade or so, it makes you start kind of thinking to yourself, could this have been the reason a certain fandom, a certain community, known as the furries, began? Could this scene, this episode, this character dressed the way she dressed, could have this been one of those things that triggered them? And honestly, people might have a point on that. They might. Because, again, one of the reasons I liked Double O Chipmunk, as my personal favorite, is because of the fact that it was an episode full of firsts. You saw the Rescue Rangers outside of the comfort zone, and it was mostly originally in story to make Dale feel better because he's trying to help out. And, in Dale, he's showing a side of himself that we've never seen before, an intelligent, inventive side, a creative side that even Gadget is impressed with, that even she's impressed with. So, so to me, that's why I enjoyed the episode. I also enjoyed it because it's the first time she kissed one of the chipmunks, either Chip or Dale, in this case Dale, on the lips. And it pretty much confirmed my suspicion even back then as a kid that, yeah, they were probably going to put Dale with Gadget, but we never really truly got that answer. And again, the Zipper Gadget thing in the 2022 movie does not count, in my opinion, because that's meta, that's parody, that's satire. But yeah, I think the reason, this clip, like a lot of clips out there here on YouTube and other places like Rumble and VENMO and such, the reason I think it's getting such a massive boost, as of late, and has over the past 13 plus years, because this has got a lot of comments and a lot of views. Like I said, it's almost close to 1 million views. It's like almost close to 800,000, so it's going to climb up there real quick before the year's out. I wouldn't be surprised if before the year's out that we hit 1 million views on this. But again, I think it's because of the way this scene is presented, and the impact that it has, that people, that it causes people to just, go back and talk about it and come up with their own reasoning as to, the effect that it had. Some that are D&G shippers, Dale and Gadget shippers, even look at it like, yeah, this is the strongest, most visual proof that, you need, if ever, that they were going to go that route. So just to notice, recently, and again, it's not the only clip. I mean, there's a lot of clips here on YouTube and other places that are picking up steam. Don't get me wrong. But for me, it's impressive. It's impressive to see it picking up steam and just, people's comments, and they're not negative either. They're very positive. They're very positive comments. Sometimes very, very speculative, theorized ones. Again, because some of them, are wondering, could this been like one of the keys, one of the moments back then that the furry community, the furry fandom, really took off, as it is. Again, one can never tell. One can never tell, but it's a good thing to think about. But yeah, it just blows my mind. All of a sudden, over the past couple of days, this scene is just getting commented after, comment after comment, which is positive after positive, or speculative theorizing after speculative theorizing. It is just great to see. And again, it shows you the impact of this one scene from this episode, one of my personal favorites, I should say, my top favorite. It shows you the impact, the impact and legacy that it left behind, because again, it's a first-time situation. Just like the episode itself is a first-time situation with the entire cast. This is a first-time situation with Gadget, seeing her outside of who we know her as, with the overalls and the goggles and so on. So, and as well as the alternate outfits of, like I say, the t-shirts and the shorts and the pajamas. So it's a big deal. And it basically back then in 1989, it took people by surprise, even when they were kids, and it still takes people by surprise even to this day. I guarantee you, there's a young generation that's being introduced to Rescue Rangers as we speak through Disney Plus or the Blu-ray release. I guarantee you they're watching that episode after watching watching what, 30 or 40 episodes, no, 30, but 30 or so episodes before. I guarantee you this episode is taking them by surprise as well, especially this scene with Gadget. It's taking them by surprise as well, you know, just like it did us. But yeah, to me, looking at this clip and, you know, the way it's taken off really shows the impact that it's had back then and even today. And again, it's getting people, you know, to wonder, okay, you know, is this how it all began with that furry community, that furry fandom? And, you know, it's even interesting, I'll say this in closing, I'll say this in closing, I should say, what's making things even more interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is some people are even noticing certain, you know, little tidbits that maybe as kids they overlooked, or maybe even the kids of today are overlooking at, especially when it comes to her retrieving the map and the microfilm that she gives to Dale. So yeah, yeah, they're really taking notice of that even now. You know, whether they're part of the new generation or not. And again, it just shows you the cultural impact and legacy this moment had from this episode, and why this episode is so beloved, you know, personally for me, and why it's definitely chock full of first, you know, when it comes to, you know, what it is, why it's so historic in that manner. And yeah, I can't say any more than that, but I'm just happy that the clip, even though I can't monetize off it, is getting a lot of love recently over the past couple of days. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on this scene. When you first saw it in Double Chipmunk, what did you think about it? How did you feel about it the first time you saw it back when it originally aired? Or how did you feel about it when you first saw it maybe on Disney Channel, Toon Disney, the DVD set, Disney Plus, the Blu-ray set? Let me know. Love to hear your thoughts on it, guys. Comment down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notification for content coming soon in the future. Also, click on the link in the description for to check out my Teespring store for merchandise you can't get anywhere else, as well as click on the links to find my content elsewhere here on the internet. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this whole situation. What did you think of the scene when you first saw it initially? When did you first see it initially? And do you agree? Do you agree with what I've had to say here? And until then, I'm out.